All right, everybody, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to dive in.
Awesome. Well, today we're looking at Avalanche and more specifically, AVAs.
AVX, okay.
And we're going to be exploring a prediction about its potential impact by the year 2030.
2030, all right, looking ahead.
Yeah, so this is coming from an excerpt titled Avalanche, AVAX, in 2030, a future forward prediction.
Okay.
And it paints a pretty wild picture. I mean, it's suggesting that Avalanche could become like way more than just a platform.
More than a platform, huh?
Yeah, like it could become something completely integral to global finance, maybe even how businesses operate on a daily basis.
Interesting. That is a fascinating idea. What really stands out from this prediction is how they see Avalanche evolving into this sort of technological bedrock.
Okay.
Not just simply facilitating transactions, which is what we often think about with crypto, but actually providing the infrastructure for, well, entire industries to rebuild themselves on a blockchain foundation.
So not just another cryptocurrency, but almost like a fundamental shift in how things work.
Yeah, exactly. Potential paradigm shift.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued. But, I mean, how does a blockchain platform even pull that off?
Well, that's where Avalanche's unique subnet model comes in. So imagine being able to create custom blockchains,
Okay.
almost like specialized branches,
Yeah.
each tailored for a specific industry.
Right.
So we could have supply chain management on one subnet, healthcare on another, gaming on yet another, all within this broader Avalanche ecosystem.
So it's almost like building custom, like purpose-built blockchains for
Ye-
each specific need.
Exactly. You got it.
Okay, I think I get that.
Yeah.
But help me, like, actually apply this to the real world. Like, let's say we have a company like, I don't know, Walmart,
Okay.
who wants to, improve its supply chain. How would a subnet help them?
That's a great example. Imagine Walmart having its own subnet, right?
Yeah.
And this subnet is tracking every single product,
Wow.
from the moment it leaves the factory floor all the way to when it hits the store shelves.
Oh, wow.
They would have real-time data on where everything is, instant verification of authenticity to combat counterfeiting, and a transparent record of every single step in the process.
So it's like efficiency and security all rolled into one.
Exactly. And this kind of efficiency and security, that's what could attract major corporations and even governments to leverage Avalanche.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And actually, speaking of governments, the source mentioned something about Avalanche attracting government projects too.
Absolutely. I mean, think about the possibilities: secure and transparent voting system,
Oh, wow.
land registries that eliminate fraud, even national digital currencies running on a custom-built subnet. And with Avalanche's speed and low transaction costs, it makes it incredibly appealing for large-scale applications like these.
That's really interesting. But I mean, governments can be notoriously slow to adopt new technologies. And haven't a lot of blockchain projects struggle to actually gain traction with regulators?
You're absolutely right. It's definitely not a guaranteed path to success. However, what sets Avalanche apart, at least according to this source, is its flexibility
Okay.
and the ability to build these permissioned subnets. See, governments, they value control and security above all else.
Right?
And Avalanche offers a way for them to have both while leveraging the transparency and efficiency of blockchain technology.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like a way to have your cake and eat it too, sort of.
Yeah.
All right. I'm starting to get the potential here, but, let's be honest. A lot of people listening are probably wondering about the price predictions.
Mhm.
And the source lays out a few possibilities for AVs in 2030, right?
It does. And, price predictions are always, shall we say, speculative, but it's fun to look at the possibilities. So the most optimistic scenario, the bull case, puts AVX somewhere between $500 and $800 per token.
Wow. Okay.
That's assuming widespread adoption, of course. We're talking significant institutional investment and a thriving DeFi ecosystem on Avalanche.
Okay, so the moon scenario. Those are some pretty impressive numbers. But what about some more, shall we say, grounded predictions?
Of course. So the steady growth case predicts a range of $200 to $300 per AVX.
Good.
This assumes solid adoption from both retail investors and institutions, but perhaps not the explosive growth of the bull case.
Gotcha.
And then there's the bear case,
Uh-huh.
where things haven't gone as smoothly, maybe slower adoption, maybe regulatory hurdles, or even increased competition. In this scenario, AVX would be between $50 and $100.
So a pretty wide range of possibilities, but it seems like there's a lot of potential upside here.
Yeah, definitely.
And the source highlighted some key factors that could drive this growth, right?
Right.
What were those again?
So first, there's that enterprise adoption that we were discussing earlier. Businesses are always looking for more efficient and secure
Yeah.
solutions. And the customizable nature of subnets could be very appealing to them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But wouldn't creating all these, like, separate subnets lead to a fragmented ecosystem?
That's a good point.
Could that actually work against Avalanche in the long run?
That's a really important question. It's a potential challenge Avalanche will have to overcome. The key will be maintaining interoperability between these subnets,
Okay.
making sure that they can still communicate and interact seamlessly.
Yeah.
The source actually emphasizes the importance of interoperability, stating that Avalanche is actually being designed to connect with other blockchains as well,
Oh, okay.
which would expand its reach and utility.
So it's like building bridges, not walls.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, makes sense. What else did the source point to as a driver for growth?
Another key factor is sustainability. As you know, some blockchains, like Bitcoin, are very energy intensive
Yeah.
due to their proof of work consensus mechanism. But Avalanche uses proof of stake, which is significantly more eco-friendly.
And to kind of put some numbers on that for our listeners, Bitcoin consumes roughly 200 terawatt hours of energy every year,
Wow,
which is actually comparable to the entire country of Argentina.
that's wild.
I know, right? And Avalanche uses just a tiny fraction of that.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be a big selling point for Avalanche in a world that's increasingly concerned about climate change.
Absolutely. This makes Avalanche very attractive to environmentally conscious investors and companies.
Yeah. And I mean, it could even be a deciding factor for companies that are looking to align with those ESG goals.
Definitely a factor to consider.
So good for the planet, good for business. The source also mentioned DeFi. Where does that fit into all of this?
Well, Avalanche is already a hub for a lot of innovative DeFi platforms.
Okay.
And the source predicts that this trend is only going to accelerate.
Yeah.
DeFi has the potential to revolutionize finance, creating more open and transparent and accessible financial systems.
Right.
And if Avalanche becomes the go-to platform for DeFi, it could attract massive amounts of liquidity, and that would further boost the value of AVX.
Okay, so we've got businesses who are looking for custom blockchains, governments exploring new ways to operate, environmentally conscious investors, and a booming DeFi ecosystem. I mean, it really does seem like Avalanche has a lot going for it. But like you said earlier, it's not all smooth sailing. What challenges did the source highlight?
Well, the blockchain space is incredibly competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of other layer one blockchains, those foundational blockchains like Ethereum and Solana.
Uh-huh.
And then there's also layer two solutions, which build on top of existing blockchains to improve scalability.
Right.
And all of these are competing for dominance.
So it's kind of like a race to the top, and Avalanche needs to be able to outpace everyone else.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
Anything else?
Well, regulation is always a bit of a wild card. I mean, the crypto landscape is constantly evolving,
Yeah.
and uncertainty around regulations could definitely stifle growth.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then there's also the question of market saturation. Like, what happens if everyone and their dog starts using blockchain?
Right. Will there be enough room for everyone to succeed?
Those are definitely some big questions. So with all of this in mind, what does that leave us with Avalanche in 2030?
Well, I think it's safe to say that Avalanche has the potential to be a truly transformative force in the blockchain world.
Okay.
I mean, it has the technology, the team, and a growing ecosystem. But the future really depends on how effectively they address those challenges we talked about.
Yeah, and how they capitalize on their strengths.
Exactly.
All right, so maybe no guarantees that we'll all become millionaires by investing in AVX, but definitely a project worth watching.
For sure.
And, this all makes me wonder, what if Avalanche does become as widely adopted as this source predicts? What kind of unexpected consequences might we see? Could it change how we interact with the internet or how we vote?
That's a great question.
I mean, maybe even how we manage our own health data. I don't know. It's something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive.
Of course, always happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, we'll catch you all next time.